Hey everyone, before we dive in, here's something really cool. You're listening to an episode created almost entirely by AI. From the script to the voice, this is part of the AI Takeover Series by Blockchain DXB, where we explore what's possible when humans hand over the mic to machines. There's little to no human involvement, and that's what makes this episode so powerful. Welcome to the future of content creation. Let's get into it. This episode is powered by Amana, the region's first and fastest-growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. Whether you're looking to invest in U.S. stocks like Apple or Tesla, or MENA giants like Adinoc or Salik, Amana puts the financial market at your fingertips. You also get access to gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, and commodities. With over 375 assets to choose from, they've got the largest crypto selection in the region. And listen, guys, if you want to build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day and want to automate your investing, just set your monthly budget, choose your preferred categories, and let Amana do the rest. No fees, no lockups, and 100% customizable. Even better, funding your account is frictionless, and funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even your crypto wallet. No friction, no hassle. And if you get stuck, Amana offers 24/6 real human customer support and personalized sales assistance. Because you're part of the Blockchain DXB community, you get an exclusive offer. Register with the code BlockchainDXB and make at least one trade to receive a $100 trading bonus credited to your account the following month. So what are you waiting for? Download the Amana app now. The link and code are in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB is proud to be the official media partner for one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, the Blockchain Futurist Conference. For the first time ever, North America's leading crypto event is heading to the United States, taking place at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Alongside it is ETH Women, happening simultaneously. Expect multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, tech demos, metaverse experiences, and more, all under one roof. It's where the smartest minds in blockchain, crypto, and AI will converge. Get 25% off tickets by using the code DXB25. And yes, I'll be there with exclusive live coverage, behind-the-scenes interviews, and spotlight features on groundbreaking projects. Mark your calendars, November 5th and 6th, 2025. Visit futuristconference.com and use code DXB25. Link is in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB has two more interesting partnership news to announce. First up, with Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Blockchain DXB is an official media partner of Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Future Blockchain Summit is one of the biggest and oldest blockchain summit taking place in Dubai, going back to almost a decade, 2017 to be precise. The event takes place between October 12th to 15th at Dubai Harbor. This is where blockchain meets fintech to redefine the future of finance. 250 plus world-class speakers, 1,200 plus investors, live demos, product launches, and the exclusive invite-only GITEX Digital Assets Forum, all under one roof. From Web3 pioneers to fintech leaders shaping payments, banking, insurtech, AI, and DeFi, this event brings the entire ecosystem together. Startups, this is your launchpad. Get in front of top VCs, accelerators, and industry leaders. For blockchain and fintech companies, this is where connections turn into partnerships and dreams turn into exits. Register today at futureblockchainsummit.com. Don't just watch the future unfold, own your space in it. Remember, Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. The registration link is in the show notes below, and see you at Dubai Harbor. Second partnership news kicking off from today is with the leading Bitcoin event organizers on this planet. And this year, Bitcoin Asia is taking things to another level. Bitcoin Asia are hosting a massive gathering this August in Hong Kong, and Blockchain DXB is proud to be an official media partner of Bitcoin Asia 2025. Taking place this August in Hong Kong, Bitcoin Asia is the region's premier Bitcoin gathering, where builders, investors, and innovators meet. It's really an honor for Blockchain DXB to be associated with Bitcoin Asia. Now at this event, expect powerful keynotes, bold conversations, and a headlining session with none other than Eric Trump. He will be sharing his vision for Bitcoin's long-term potential, its role in global finance, and Asia's massive impact on adoption, and a lot more. So listen up, guys. From infrastructure to regulation, privacy tools to lightning development, Bitcoin Asia connects global Bitcoin communities and drives innovation across cultures and markets. And as part of this partnership, you can register for the Bitcoin Asia using the code DXB. All the detail are in the show notes below. If Bitcoin's in your blood, this is your event. So, register today at asia.btc and don't forget to use code DXB for 10% off your tickets. Bitcoin Asia 2025, Hong Kong is calling. Be part of the future of Bitcoin. Next up, Advanced Media is the largest distributor of professional video, photography, cinema, and broadcast accessories in the Middle East. They represent over 100 major brands, including DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. The mic I'm using to record this? Sponsored by Advanced Media. But what really sets them apart is their commitment to purpose. People, planet, and prosperity. That's not just branding, it's their actual business model. They've partnered with SAE Institute in Dubai to offer scholarships to students pursuing a bachelor's degree in filmmaking, each worth AED 50,000. They also run regular workshops, training programs, and tech showcases across the region. For more info, visit amt.t, that's amt.tv. Finally, let's talk about something every crypto investor should take seriously: security. And that's where Ledger comes in. Ledger is one of the most trusted names in crypto security. Their hardware wallets, like the Nano S Plus and Nano X, keep your assets safe by storing your private keys offline. That means you're protected against hacks, malware, and phishing attempts that can compromise online wallets. The company is headquartered in Paris and is constantly innovating. Their team works with world-class security researchers and regularly tests their own products for vulnerabilities. It's why Ledger wallets are used by millions around the world. Using a hardware wallet isn't just smart, it's essential. If you're serious about crypto, it's time to stop relying on centralized exchanges or browser wallets. Click the link in the show notes to order your Ledger wallet and support this podcast at the same time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. It's August 15th, 2025, and if you've looked at the crypto market today, well, you've probably seen that slight dip, right?
Yeah, a bit of red across the board. The global market's down marginally.
Exactly. And we're seeing, a pretty significant outflow from ETFs, too. What was it, like $173 million just in the last day?
Mm-hmm. That's institutional capital moving.
But, and this is what's really caught my eye, stablecoin volumes. They're just completely off the chart. Tether USDT is getting really close to that $200 billion mark. It's at, $194.71 billion now.
Right. It's hovering right there. And that's the critical question, isn't it? Mm-hmm. This isn't just a random dip, that $173 million outflow. It feels more like a strategic pause.
It's a holding pattern.
Exactly. Yeah. Investors aren't necessarily panicked, selling off everything. It seems more like they're moving to the sidelines, converting to stable coins, parking their assets.
It's no stablecoin surge. It's like dry powder. People waiting.
That's the signal, yeah. It's the market saying, we're anticipating something. It's not outright fear. It's coiled anticipation, ready to deploy based on what happens next.
Okay, you've set the stage perfectly. So today we're doing a deep dive into the why, right? Connecting these market moves to a pretty major geopolitical event happening practically as we speak.
And then we'll pivot. We've got some really groundbreaking stuff happening in blockchain and AI globally to get into as well.
Right. So our mission here is to basically pull out the most important nuggets from all the source material you've gathered for us, give you, the listener, a shortcut to understanding this complex mix of global politics, market dynamics, and cutting-edge tech.
And the big geopolitical piece today, the one everyone's watching, is that meeting later this afternoon between President Donald Trump and President Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, the outcome there feels like it could really set the tone, not just for crypto, but global markets, maybe even bigger things like world peace.
Potentially. It's high stakes.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting right where we are with the current market snapshot. Global crypto market down about 2.8% in 24 hours, and that $173 million ETF outflow.
Exactly. And that outflow, it seems directly linked to the uncertainty around this Trump-Putin meeting. It's that calculated pause we were just talking about.
Makes sense. Lack of certainty often means lower confidence, people pull back a bit.
Especially institutional capital. They need a clearer picture before making big moves, particularly with an event this significant.
But, okay, despite the dip, the overall 24-hour crypto market volume is still huge. $271 billion. What does that tell us? Especially when you think back to similar surges, like wasn't there one when Trump got reelected?
That's a great point. The market is still incredibly liquid. $271 billion is not a market in panic mode. And yes, that historical parallel is interesting. When Trump was reelected, volumes also jumped over $250 billion.
So big political events seem to drive activity, not necessarily just selling.
It suggests that, yeah, it points to maybe a resilient belief in crypto as a global kind of neutral asset class, even when traditional systems get shaky.
Okay, so all eyes on the main event, the Trump-Putin meeting. Expected topic is a Ukraine-Russia peace deal. President Trump has been quite vocal about wanting peace for his legacy, even saying he'd know Putin's intentions quickly.
Right. And based on our source material, we can game out sort of three broad scenarios for the market impact.
Okay, walk us through this.
Sure. So first, a positive scenario. If there's a clear path to peace, some kind of cooperation announced, expect a pretty positive bump for Bitcoin and crypto prices.
Like a relief rally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A short-term boost for risky assets generally. Stocks likely rally too, especially maybe energy, industrials, emerging markets. Bitcoin could retest that recent high of, what was it, $124,000?
Wow, yeah.
Could even break it, pushing its market cap maybe past $3 trillion, Ethereum maybe past $700 billion. Interestingly, gold might actually dip in this scenario. Less need for a safe haven.
Okay, scenario one. What about the flip side?
The negative scenario. Tensions escalate, talks break down badly, then you'd anticipate a pretty strong pullback in global stocks, and yeah, a dump in crypto prices.
And gold.
Gold would likely pump. Classic safe haven move. Oil prices probably surge too, reflecting that heightened geopolitical risk.
Right. And the third possibility.
A neutral outcome.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they talk, but no big agreement is reached. Just more talks scheduled, perhaps. The immediate impact on Bitcoin and crypto is, well, it's uncertain. Could go either way or just stay flat.
But gold might still pump a bit.
Gold might still get a bit of a lift, yeah. Just reflecting that ongoing uncertainty, that ambiguity, people still looking for safety.
How confident can we be in these models, though? Geopolitics feels so unpredictable.
That's the key disclaimer. Always. These are based on historical correlations, patterns. But geopolitics always have that black swan potential, you know, something totally unexpected. So these are probabilities, not guarantees, which is why I was watching so intently.
And why source verification is so critical right now. Our sources really stress being careful about, well, what they call mainstream media outlets, mentioning CNN, CNBC, Associated Press specifically.
Right. The caution is that narratives might circulate ahead of time, maybe fake news or misleading info, as the source puts it, shaping perception before the actual outcome is known.
So the advice is stick to official channels, like the White House feed for direct updates.
That's the strong recommendation from the material we reviewed, yes. Get it straight from the source, especially on this one.
Okay, sticking with that theme of careful information, let's talk about this Bitcoin strategic reserve idea. President Trump mentioned it. What's the actual plan there based on his statements?
So the clarification from his statements is key. The plan is not to sell the government's existing confiscated Bitcoin, which is, you know, a fair amount valued somewhere between $15 and $20 billion.
Right.
Instead, the plan is to hold it. And importantly, there's also mentioned that these confiscated Bitcoins might eventually be returned to the original people affected.
Okay, so holding, not selling. Got it. Now, this connects to that other story swirling around about Scott Bessent. The news suggested he'd sort of taken back his word about buying Bitcoin for a reserve.
Yeah, and this is where our sources say things get really interesting, highlighting it as potentially misleading news. Because if you look at the official statements,
he never actually promised that in the first place.
That's what the analysis suggests. He never actually made that specific promise to buy more Bitcoin for his strategic reserve. It seems to be an example of how narratives can get built up.
So the media maybe runs with an interpretation or an unmade promise, and then when it doesn't happen.
Exactly. Then blame gets assigned for not following through on something that wasn't actually promised. It's a reminder to always go back to the primary source statements. because these narratives, even if based on shaky ground, can definitely impact market sentiment.
Absolutely. Okay, shifting gears from geopolitics and narratives, let's look at some major innovation happening on the blockchain itself. Circle, the USDC issuer, right? They're launching a whole new layer 1 blockchain.
Yeah, it's called ARC. And it's ambitious, purpose-built specifically for stablecoin finance, particularly targeting institutional use.
Okay, so what makes it different? What are the key features?
Well, several things designed to tackle friction points for businesses. One big one is predictable fees. Transactions will use USDC for fees, not some volatile gas token. That's huge for businesses needing cost certainty.
That makes sense. No unpredictable gas spikes.
Exactly. It's built to be institutional grade, aiming for high performance. It also has a built-in foreign exchange engine. So smooth on-chain currency conversions, which isn't something you really get natively on, say, Ethereum or Solana.
Interesting. What else?
Speed. It boasts sub-second finality, which is critical for payments for capital markets. They achieve this through a consensus mechanism they call small sheet.
Small sheet. Okay, unique name. So near instant settlement.
That's the goal, near instantaneous. It also offers opt-in privacy features, important for institutions dealing with compliance, and it's EVM compatible, open source.
So developers familiar with Ethereum can build on it easily.
Should be able to, yeah.
Yeah.
The potential applications are broad. Cross-border payments, stablecoin FX markets, on-chain credit, settling capital market trades, even AI-driven payments.
Sounds powerful. What's the rollout plan?
It's moving pretty quickly. Private testnet is supposed to be launching very soon. Public testnet expected this fall. And then mainnet beta by 2026.
Okay, that's quite a roadmap. But you mentioned it's built for institutions. Does that raise any questions about decentralization? Especially if, say, Circle and maybe partners like Coinbase are the validators.
That is the important question, absolutely. This consortium model, where maybe key partners act as validators, is likely how they achieve that sub-second finality in institutional performance. But yes, it inherently brings up questions about how decentralized it truly is compared to, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum's public network.
So a trade-off, speed and compliance versus maybe more centralized control.
Potentially, yeah. For the target institutional users, that trade-off might be perfectly acceptable, even necessary. But it's definitely something the community will be watching and debating as ARC develops.
Right. Okay, another big development. This merger between Nakamoto Holdings and KindlyMD. Our sources called this part of a weird anomaly. What's going on there?
It's fascinating because KindlyMD is, I believe, a healthcare services firm. Not who you typically expect to be making massive crypto plays. But they're merging and creating this public company that combines healthcare with large-scale Bitcoin management.
And their plan is bold, right?
Extremely bold. Their stated goal is to acquire 1 million Bitcoin for their treasury.
1 million, wow. Considering how few Bitcoin are actually available to buy.
Exactly. They're less than 2 million readily available on exchanges. So acquiring 1 million is a huge undertaking. They're planning to fund it partly through $450 million in PI financing.
Private investment.
Right, private investment in public equity. Plus a $200 million note offering is planned. Their aim is basically to become a major institutional Bitcoin treasury platform, catering to corporations and maybe even governments.
So this weird anomaly is seeing firms outside traditional finance, like healthcare or maybe others. Pete, the deal's Ethereum Zelica was another example mentioned, buying up large amounts of Bitcoin and Ethereum for their treasuries.
That seems to be the emerging trend highlighted. As geopolitical situations get complex and maybe faith in traditional reserves waivers, diverse entities are looking at Bitcoin as this neutral global treasury asset, a way to potentially de-risk from reliance on single national currencies or markets.
Very interesting shift. Okay, speaking of market infrastructure, what's the latest on the Solana ETFs? Any movement there?
A bit of a delay, actually. The US SEC has pushed back the decision on the Bitwise and 21 Shares Solana ETF applications by 2 months, so the new deadline is in October.
Any reason given?
Nothing official, but our sources suggest one possibility is just the sheer volume of crypto-related applications the SEC received under this administration. They might be taking a more measured, cautious approach rather than rushing decisions. These ETFs are proposed for the CBOE and BCS exchanges.
Okay, so still waiting on Solana ETFs. Now let's pivot again. While blockchain's evolving, AI is also moving at lightning speed, especially in places like the Middle East. Starting with Saudi Arabia.
Yes, a firm called Humane, backed by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, the PIF is launching an Arabic version of ChatGPT by the end of this month. And significantly, it was developed entirely by a Saudi team.
That sounds like a big step. how does it fit into their broader strategy?
It ties directly into Saudi Vision 2030. The goals are economic diversification, building digital infrastructure, boosting GDP, but also, critically, localizing technology and empowering Saudi talent. Humane itself aims to reach valuations similar to top global AI firms.
So building AI capacity from the ground up, reducing reliance on outside tech.
Exactly. Building their own AI infrastructure, fostering a knowledge-based economy is a strategic push for technological self-sufficiency in AI.
And Humane seems quite advanced, deploying models quickly, targeting key sectors.
Apparently, yes. Reports say they can deploy advanced computing models in just 30 seconds. They're targeting sectors like healthcare and energy, with a big emphasis on data localization, keeping Saudi data within the kingdom.
And they have big tech backing.
Significant support, yeah. AWS and Microsoft are making major investments in Saudi data centers, which obviously underpins these AI ambitions. Humane's long-term goal is ambitious. Become a global AI leader, kind of like Saudi Arabia's role in oil, and be one of the world's top 5 data center operators.
Wow, that's a serious commitment. What about elsewhere in the region, Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi is also making strides. Their Civil Defense Authority has formed a strategic partnership with the Advanced Technology Research Council, or ATRC.
For what purpose?
It's focused on enhancing their own AI ecosystem, developing integrated strategies, training local talent, and specifically applying AI to improve pretty much. Leveraging technology for humanitarian goals, boosting their readiness for challenges, and creating a more flexible, effective AI-powered system to protect lives and property. It's AI for public good, essentially.
Okay, before we wrap up the data, let's touch on a couple of emerging metrics. First, this concept of decentralized physical infrastructure, or DePIN. Tokens connected to AI are topping the charts there.
That's right. DePIN is basically about using crypto incentives to build out real-world infrastructure, think wireless networks, computing power, energy grids in a decentralized way. And yeah, AI-related projects are prominent.
So who are the top 5 DePIN tokens by market cap right now?
According to our sources, the top 5 are, number 1, Benso at about $3.61 billion. Then Internet Computer Protocol, ICP, at $2.98 billion. Render is third at $2.04 billion. Falcon is next at $1.74 billion. And number 5 is Theta Network, around $854 million.
An interesting list. And how about decentralized exchanges, DEX? What are the key stats there?
Activity remains pretty high. Total 24-hour volume is sitting at $23.57 billion, generating about $123.59 million in fees.
And total value locked.
TVL is currently $155.72 billion across DXs, and DX dominance over centralized exchanges, CEXs, is listed at 54.37%. Though it's worth noting the caveat from our sources that CEXs might still be behind 45% of that volume indirectly.
Right. Which DXs are leading the volume charts?
Top 5 by volume are Uniswap way out in front, $6.5 billion.
Yeah.
Then PancakeSwap at $2.49 billion, Orca at $1.37 billion, Radium $1.18 billion, and Fluid rounding out the top 5 at $1.17 billion.
And one more metric. Real-world assets, RWA.
TVL in real-world assets is currently reported at $13.66 billion.
Okay, and let's get a quick price check on the majors. Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is trading around $119,221. That's down about 1.93% in the last 24 hours, but still up 2.33% over the week.
Ethereum.
Ethereum's at $4,645. It's actually up 1.59% in the last 24 hours and had a strong week, up 18.91%.
And Ripple XRP.
Bitcoin's market cap is around $2.37 trillion and down 5.83% over the past 7 days.
And the overall market caps.
Bitcoin's market cap is around $2.37 trillion and Ethereum's is about $560 billion.
Phew. All right. So we've covered a lot of ground. What does this all mean when you put it together? We've got this critical Trump-Putin meeting looming, impacting markets right now, investors shifting to stablecoins, Circle launching this big institutional blockchain ARC, these bold Bitcoin treasury plays, plus rapid AI development in the Middle East.
Yeah, it really highlights the interconnectedness, doesn't it? You have these seemingly separate events, diplomacy, new tech protocols, regional AI strategies, but they're all converging and shaping what global finance and technology look like going forward.
It really drives home that point about needing to connect the dots, right? That knowledge is most valuable when you see how these different threads weave together.
Exactly. Understanding the context, how one thing influences another, that's where the real insight comes from.
Absolutely. So as we wait for the outcome of that Trump-Putin meeting later today, here's maybe a final provocative thought for you, our listener, to chew on. How might these shifts we're seeing, the investor sentiment moving towards stablecoins, the rise of specialized blockchains like ARC influence Bitcoin's role? Will it solidify itself as the digital gold that pumps in uncertain times? Or could traditional gold actually reclaim that role, especially since there isn't an FMC meeting this month to maybe stabilize things?
It's a great question. A lot hangs in the balance today.
Definitely leaves us with a lot to think about. We really encourage you to keep digging, keep exploring these topics, and stay curious.